Hi everyone, my name's Tim.
My name's Machu,
And welcome to Pitch and Shit.
Today we're going to be talking about something Tim and I obsess over
All the time.
all the time. Albums. Albums.
We love
Albums.
Recently, not even recently anymore, but like around the time Short and Sweet came out, I got really obsessed with listening to albums.
Mm-hmm.
Before then, I was always like a playlist girl, and I still kind of am. I do love playlists, but
Right.
albums really hold a special place in my heart now. I love listening to albums the way that they're meant to be. You
Look,
know?
I'm an album girl.
Mhm.
I will listen to an album front and back. I'm actually not too big on playlists. I only have like 3 or 4 playlists.
Right. I think I have like 70 something.
Right. And I don't regularly listen to playlists.
Right. I think playlists are good when you're in a social setting.
Right.
At least I wouldn't ask somebody to listen to an album with me
Right.
unless I knew they were also an album person.
Right.
Playlists are good for like setting moods.
I agree with
Like
that for
ambient
sure.
music.
Yeah.
I think they have their place, and like I would listen to playlists like when I'm driving and stuff. But like, I do love listening to an album. I think albums are those like they're pieces that you have to sit down
Yeah.
and really like enjoy.
To me, an album is almost like a piece of writing. Like, you aren't going to read one
Mhm.
paragraph and then switch to another. You're going to listen all the way through
Yeah.
and hear the story that's trying to be told.
Mhm.
I mean, God, if you look at my play history on Apple Music, you'll see like entire albums that take over
Yeah.
everything. I think
Actually, though, in defense of playlists, I think it's really interesting to take songs and put them together in like even from different like
Right.
albums and
Yeah,
like from
yeah.
different artists, just like putting them together in a way that like could tell their own story.
Right. I think that is fun too. I
Mhm.
think I'm not too good at it because I think I get into this hole of like, this album needs to be depressing as fuck.
Yeah.
So it's only going to be sad songs.
Mhm.
And then, but I'm feeling good today, so I'm going to add a happy song right at the very end.
Right.
And it's like, maybe
Real.
not. Maybe
Yeah.
not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not the vibe. Maybe not the vibe we're looking for today.
Yeah, but that's okay.
But we have a couple albums that we want to talk about specifically to take example from.
Mhm.
And we also want to talk about how we would go about fixing these albums,
Yeah.
but also like what exactly about them we
probably don't like.
we don't like. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to be flaming some artists today,
We're
just
going
a little
to be
bit.
just a little, guys.
But we love all the artists that we're talking about
Yes.
today.
because if we didn't love them, we wouldn't be talking about them.
Wait, I just thought
Mhm.
I have an answer to an album with like no good songs on it.
Okay.
Gracie's Abrams.
Gracie Abrams.
Gracie
No, but
Abrams.
like that's not a good album.
Oh, that's right. It has to be a good
It
album.
has to be a good album
Right,
with
sorry,
not good, like
sorry.
with,
You're
like a good album with like decent songs. They don't need to be bad,
right.
they don't need to be bad,
Right,
but
right.
like it needs to be a good album with like decent songs.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not Gracie Abrams.
Not Gracie
Sorry.
Abrams.
Sorry, Gracie.
Sorry, Gracie.
But yeah. So we're going to be flaming some artists that we really do like.
Yeah.
And we want it to be known there's no hard feelings.
Yes.
We just think we can do your art better.
Or we think we can improve upon it a little bit.
A little bit.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah. We just like to put in our input as two gay twins in a car.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just want to quickly apologize to a couple of
People.
fandoms really quick. The Coneheads. What does
Yeah.
Sabrina's fans called?
The Carpenters?
The Carpenters. The Livies. And probably the Swifties, because we just can't help but talk about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We cannot get her name out of our
We
mouths.
can't help it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, it's okay. But
Should we get into...
let's get into some of the weeds.
Yeah.
First, before we talk about any specific albums, let's talk about what makes a good album.
Yeah.
Right, in our eyes, what are some of the criteria that you need to have, a good album?
I think, obviously, the biggest one, the one that people are immediately going to think about is the songs have to be good.
Yeah, the
You know,
music needs to be good.
The music has to be bumping. We have
Mhm.
to be able to get down to it.
Mhm.
And,
And I love Getting Down to Betty by Taylor Swift.
I love to hit the gritty to Ronin.
Oh, yeah. Actually, hold on. That is about... Yeah.
That one's a little
That was
fucked
a
up.
little
That was
fucked
a
up.
little fucked up.
But I do love folklore.
We do
I
love
can
folklore.
definitely get down to Mirrorball, of course.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I can shake some ass to August.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But the songs have to be the songs have to be bumpin'. They
Mhm.
have to be good. They, I guess, don't have to be high energy. The albums can be sad.
Yeah,
but,
the
like,
album can be sad. The music just has to be moving. You have to be
yeah,
able to feel the music. You have to be able to relate. It just
yeah.
has to be a good song.
It can't be boring, which is why Ed Sheeran has never written a good album in his life.
Oh. Oh, do you want to say that to the Leaflet girlies?
My bad.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And no, okay, this isn't no, like, this is not a dig to the people that like Ed Sheeran. This is a dig at Ed Sheeran himself.
Mhm.
I
Oh
just,
wait, another fandom to apologize to.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Okay. Um, Ed Sheeran, I, Ed Sheeran just doesn't write moving music. Like,
Yeah.
his music is so stagnant and stale. I remember hearing Shape of You on the radio when that was like a whole thing. And even though I was like, what, 11?
Mhm.
That shit was ass. I hated it so much. I like every time it came on the radio, I would turn the station because it wasn't particularly moving, and I was so frustrated by the fact that it wasn't.
Right. Yeah, and I think it's like he's written some cute little songs.
Mhm.
He's very good at that, those like cute little songs, but
Yeah,
I don't think he's ever made a song where I go like,
this really touched.
wow.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, that was deep.
that was
No,
deep.
not
No,
really.
no.
Not
Like,
really
Ed
ever.
Sheeran does not write good music, in the sense that he's not a writer; he's a producer.
Yeah.
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 Ed Sheeran is a decent producer. I
Yeah,
think.
I think
He is just not a good writer.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, actually, I would argue that he is a good writer. He's just not good at writing in depth.
Okay.
He's not good at writing like
I mean, I feel like a good writer would never write "I'm in love with the shape of you, push and pull like a magnet do."
to be fair, he
Like-
wrote that one Justin Bieber song.
That's true.
And that one was pretty
That
good.
was okay.
That one was a pretty good song.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
Tangent.
Too far in the weeds.
Too far in the weeds.
But yeah, a
We-
good album has good music.
A good album has good music. And then a good album should also Oh wait, actually you Tim. I
Okay.
don't want to take this over.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. We can go
Okay.
off of each other. But I think an album also needs to have cohesive music. It can't just have good music.
Yes.
The music in the album has to be cohesive.
Yeah, I think this is a really important one. Like obviously
Hmm.
music is music and every song should be different and special in its own way.
Hmm.
But I think what makes an album good is when we're using similar instruments across songs. We're using
Yeah.
similar progressions and we're bringing in motifs from different parts of the album to tie
Mhm.
it all together. So it feels like
Yeah.
I think the best way of putting it is like a good album should make the listener feel like they're in on a
On a
joke.
journey. Yeah.
In on a joke, in on a journey,
Mm-hmm.
in on
Something.
in on something with the artist.
Yeah.
That's how you build that connection of like, oh, I relate to that. I remember when you were talking about that earlier.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think obviously, like, we've been bringing up like music.
Mm-hmm.
Like sonically, it needs to be cohesive. It also needs to be thematically cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
I think like obviously, Rat is one of those albums that really does both.
Mhm.
All of those songs have this very techno kind of like
House,
house
yeah.
feel. And they're all like kind of dance beats.
Mm-hmm.
Even like, let's see, I might say something stupid. Like
Mm-hmm.
even though her more introspective songs are very
Mm-hmm.
like kind of house
Mhm.
house-y, and like thematically it's also very like cohesive in
Right.
that like she's talking about a specific persona of a girl
Mm-hmm.
who is a party girl but also like hides her feelings behind all of that, and it's like
right.
it's a very cohesive album and like both thematically and also sonically,
Right.
right?
Yeah, and then we're moving into like the ordering of the song too.
Oh yeah, like narrative
So-
structure.
Right. And then like album wise,
Mhm.
another really important piece of it is like how we order the songs, how
Yeah.
we move through a story, how we tell a story
Mhm.
or explain a theme even.
Mhm.
I don't think every album has to have a story, but it definitely has to have a lesson it's trying to tell, a tale, if you
A
will.
tale is trying to weave.
A tale it's trying to weave. Exactly.
Like let's take for example, like for me, one of the best narrative structures to me is like the circular structure. I love the
Mhm.
circular structure, and I think one of the albums that does it really well is like um Troye Sivan, Something to Give Each Other.
Mhm.
He's talking about like his, I guess, emotional journey through
Mhm.
like hookup culture, and talking about how he starts very like, yes, like this is really exciting, this is really cool.
Mhm.
I love these people, and then he's kind of moving through that and still finding like, oh, like there's not really a lot of
Yeah.
fulfillment in that.
Yeah.
And then once he finishes the album, he's like, oh, like actually I do want something deeper. But then
Mhm.
you start again, and it just feels like he's on this journey going over and over and
Mhm.
over again. Like he's again like trying to find this connection in Rush,
Yeah.
and after he like finishes the album with How to Stay With You,
Mhm.
right? But then there's also like other narrative
Yeah,
structures.
and I think like another one is like a very linear structure that like Found Heaven by Conan
Mm-hmm.
is very linear.
Yeah.
Um and it's I think one of the best ways for artists to really learn the structure because
Mm-hmm.
it's very direct, right?
Yes.
I mean like Conan opens the album talking about the opening song of Found Heaven is Found Heaven,
Mm-hmm.
the titular
This
song.
titular track.
And it's about like realizing he's capable of love within himself and that
Mm-hmm.
a lot of like what he's built up about love has related back to his family and parents and
Mm-hmm.
religious trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go through the order of him coming to terms with this first romance he's gone through.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking about this romance as it progresses
Yeah.
and through different stages, but
Mm-hmm.
also weaving in the familial part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually close out the album not with a song about love and
Mm-hmm.
about this past partner, but
Yeah.
actually about his family and like
Mm-hmm.
his father, and how at the end of the day, because Conan ended this relationship,
Mm-hmm.
he actually lost to his father.
Yeah.
And I think like that is one of those more linear. We see the progression and the story building on itself as we
Mm-hmm.
get through the album.
Yeah. And then we also have a very like, because albums are so um they're so unique in terms
Mm-hmm.
of what they are able to do. Their storytelling structure is also very malleable, right? So like
Absolutely.
something like Kid Crow
Mm-hmm.
by Conan Gray has a more scattershot kind of story
Mm-hmm.
arc. There's no real like arc here,
Mm-hmm.
but like each story tells a vignette of like his life in Texas or his
And
life in a
coming
town.
to the big city, feeling
Yeah.
alone in the big city,
Mhm.
and just like that coming of age.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of albums that do that very well too.
Yes,
Like
like
the
Sour
vignettes. Yes.
Guts.
Yes.
Mhm.
We've called these like extended plays
Yeah.
where they almost feel like, we're trying out stuff. We're writing self-contained songs
Mhm.
that play into a bigger picture.
Yeah, like each of the songs are self-contained stories and emotions
Mhm.
that form the emotional world of a certain like
Right.
character
Right.
or a certain moment in time,
I would say
right?
like Taylor Swift
Taylor Swift does this
does this
very
a
well.
lot. She does it very
Yes.
well. She does it a lot.
Yeah, one that comes to mind is like 1989,
Mhm.
where she
Mhm.
opens and closes the album with like obviously the onset and then the conclusion of this narrative journey
Mhm.
of like going to New York, experiencing things for the first time,
Mhm.
and then closing out on like feeling, I guess, clean and washed away of
Right.
like all of this stuff. But in the
Right.
middle, she has a lot of different
Mhm.
narratives, right?
Yeah, and I think this more scatter plot um
Structure.
structure
Hmm.
was really popular up until very recently. I think we're
Yeah.
starting to see more other. I don't want to go as far to say that it's a concept album,
Hmm.
but it's more organized,
Yeah.
more there's more of a story to the album
Hmm.
as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
actually do want to shout out. I feel like we're just kind of talking about albums now, but like
Mhm.
one of them that I really want to point out is like there's another one where it's like scattershot, but like it kind of divulges emotional depth.
Mhm.
So like for me, one of the biggest albums that I loved these past couple years is Short and Sweet,
Mhm.
right? And the reason I love it so much is because the narrative structure doesn't necessarily follow a chronological structure. It's
Mhm.
a more emotional structure,
Yeah.
right? Which I think is something that albums, because they are more or less anthologies of
Mhm.
work, they're able to do very well.
Right.
Because like separately, each of the songs are
The
self-contained
self-concept. Yeah.
narratives that like end up telling a wider narrative, but they're not ordered in the sense that like we go from the like start of the breakup
Right.
out to the end, right? We go from like Taste, where she's like her most sarcastic, she is her
Mhm.
most I guess, defensive.
Mhm.
She's her most vengeful, I would say,
Mhm.
down to like Don't Smile, where
Right.
then she's like being a lot more vulnerable within herself. She's being a lot more insecure,
Mhm.
um, and she's really being honest. I guess I would say, in a way that like she spends the entirety of the album breaking that down.
Right.
Right. She
Right.
spends the whole album breaking down her walls, and so the narrative structure isn't necessarily of the breakup itself, like chronologically, but it's about her processing the
Right.
trauma after it happened.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so these are examples of albums that we really love that we think
Yeah.
did these elements really good.
Hmm.
But there are bad albums.
There are bad
There are
albums.
bad albums.
There are even bad albums by people we really enjoy listening to.
Bad albums by people we just praised.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think we should get into that.
I think we could. Yeah,
Because our third segment is about to be very long, and welcome to it. Welcome
Yeah.
to the third segment. So
Anyway, let's talk about some albums.
let's talk about some bad albums.
Yeah, let's go play some basketball.
Let's go. Let's play some basketball. Thank you,
Anyway,
Fergie.
Thank you,
Thank you, Fergie.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about each of these like elements and talk about albums
Mhm.
that maybe didn't fit them very well.
So where did we start exactly? I forget.
We started with
They have to be
albums
good
have good,
songs.
yeah, albums have
So-
good songs.
This is our take: is that we find it very hard to have a good album with bad songs.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to find an example for this.
It is very hard. But what is a bad album with bad songs? We were just talking about, like-
143.
Yes.
143 by Miss
Katy
Katy Perry.
And like
Whatever Gracie Abrams put out.
whatever the fuck that was.
Whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, I mean like, and I even would say like, I don't even know. I wanted to say Benson Boone, but low-key, he's not like that bad.
Wait. Low-key an okay album with bad songs.
No, I would
It's
say
good background
yeah.
music.
I mean, yeah, it's good background music. I
would
say,
never
like,
listen to
that doesn't
100%.
make it like a good album though.
That's
that kind
true.
of already
That
makes
is
it a bad
true.
album. So like, I really don't think that there's a way to fix this other than going back to the writing board.
Yeah, go back to the studio.
Yeah, and actually another one, Life of a Showgirl.
Oh.
Oh, that was a controversial one.
Yeah, no, not good. Not
That
good.
was not a good one.
Definitely not good.
Yeah. And I really think the only solution again is to just go back to
His
the drawing
redwood
board.
tree dickatized me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, that'll do it.
Yeah.
So we're getting to saying that I think it's very almost impossible to have a good album with bad songs,
Mhm.
which is why we don't have a good example for that today.
Yeah, and we also don't really have a fix because that is up to the artist.
That is up to getting back in the studio, girl.
Yeah.
That is postponing your album.
Yeah, that is
okay?
postponing your album. That's
Yeah.
pushing back the release. That is, creating
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
good, like
Yeah.
cohesive body of work.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. I
Yeah,
think that
that's
wraps
it.
it up for that part.
Let's talk about album cohesion, song
Album
cohesion.
Yes.
And I have an example for this one.
Okay.
Also by Conan Lee Gray,
Oh, yeah.
who I am a fan of and have been following since he was on YouTube. I even
Mhm.
have a Conan Gray necklace on right now.
Right.
Just so y'all know, y'all
Right.
cone heads who are they're not as bad as Swifties.
They're not.
They can be pretty bad though.
Yeah,
They can be bad sometimes.
they can.
I do like Conan Gray.
Hmm.
And this is gonna be a hot take for y'all.
Oh yeah.
Because y'all defend this album.
Y'all love this album so much.
Y'all love this album so much.
Yeah.
But it's just objectively not a good album. And that doesn't mean the songs are bad. To be clear.
The songs are good.
The songs are good. Super Ache.
Super is not good as an album.
Yes, as an album.
And I will actually say this goes less to cohesion and more to narrative structure. I feel like the songs themselves sonically are cohesive enough.
Okay, I'm gonna push back on this.
Okay.
Because I think I fully disagree.
Okay.
I think I do fully disagree.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Dan did produce a lot of the songs off of Super Ache, but not all of them were produced by Dan.
No.
Just to be clear, not all of them
Yeah.
were produced by Dan.
Mhm.
And that doesn't mean that the songs that weren't produced by him were bad or the ones that he produced were good.
Mhm.
It just means that they had different sounds.
Mhm.
Different instruments were used across every single song. Like, let's look at
Yeah.
Jigsaw, which had this
Oh yeah.
heavy guitar, which, awesome. One of my favorite songs by Conan.
Mm-hmm.
But it is is so different than the rest of the album.
Yeah.
And yours is very stripped back and just some piano.
Mm-hmm.
And memories is also this like big piano sound.
It's just very like atmospheric.
Atmospheric, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
then
then
you have Best Friend, which is very intimate.
yes.
Yeah.
Intimate indie
Intimate
artist
yeah.
trying.
Which also that is one of his most clowned upon songs.
Yes,
It
yes.
is.
And the clean version of that song is a hard listen.
Is it really? I have not listened.
It goes like instead of like that's my fucking best friend, it's that's my best friend.
I'm sorry.
We'll
I didn't know
put it
this
on
was
later.
happening.
We'll put it on later.
Okay.
But then also then you have songs like People Watching, which is this synthier sound. Like just across every song on this album, there's a different sound happening.
Yeah.
And it's like structure wise, I think if sonically these songs were more cohesive, the structure wouldn't feel as bad. I think it would feel again more like these vignettes. And I think that would be easier to accomplish.
Yeah.
But it really is giving album of singles. And what I mean by that is that each song feels like they were meant to be self-contained, even more self-contained than this album already is. But like each song was meant to be its own album in its own right.
Yeah. And dare I say, Super 8 was kind of Conan Gray's sophomore slump.
Even though it was his most successful album
Even though
before
it was his
Wishbone.
most successful album before Wishbone, it was low-key his sophomore slump, not in terms of numbers, but in terms of artistry.
In terms of artistry. And to be clear, I love basically every song off of Super 8, except Best Friend.
Yeah, you even like yours.
I even like yours. I even like yours, okay?
Yeah.
And it was the surprise song at the LA show.
Right,
So I do love yours. And it really does pain me because I think, like, it was crazy how big Conan's career was when Super 8 was happening. You know, I mean, he was going on, like, Japanese television shows and, like, touring all over the place for this album. And it was kind of a shitty album.
Yeah. No, my thing about Conan is, like, or at least this album specifically, is making sure that you obviously have, like, similar sounds. Not that they all have to be the same. Like, if, like, look at Olivia's most recent album, right? There are songs in it that are very rock heavy. Then there are also songs like Honeybee, which are very quiet and like stripped back. But I think the thing is, one, Olivia has kind of already established herself as an artist who can do both. Right. Who can put both in an album and use them to juxtapose herself. But I also think that like she's able to kind of like make those like peaks and valleys, right? Like she's able to incorporate softer sounds throughout the progression of the album and not just hard pivot from one or the other.
And so that's the thing with Super 8 is that, again, and I'm this much of a Conan fan that I'm going to remember this interview right now.
Yeah.
I think it was on the Zach Sang show. After Super 8 came out, he went on and he was like, well, after Kid Crow was so successful, they told me I had to get back in the studio and make an album, so I made one.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we can tell. We can tell that it wasn't like a... I mean, like, I hate shitting on it because I do love every song. It's just, it's clearly sitting down. It's clearly, I wrote a bunch of songs and now they're on an album.
Here it is.
And here it is. And this is it.
This is it. This is
and that's what this is.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. So, yeah, I mean, like, sonically, your music has to be very cohesive, I think, to be a good album.
To be a good album.
Yeah,
yes.
To be a great album. You have to have a cohesive song and theme.
And theme.
I think a lot of songwriters do usually have cohesive themes.
Right.
Another one that didn't, 143.
143. Yeah, no. I'm going to go back to Super 8 on theme really quick. Is that the entire theme for that album is...
I'm a boy who likes
sad.
to be sad.
I'm a boy who makes sad music.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's kind of it.
And that's it.
Yeah. And... yeah, no, and this is why I say Found Heaven is so much better than Super 8, even though people, for some reason, don't want to acknowledge that.
Right.
And the reason why is because Conan Gray moved on from saying, oh, I'm just a guy who writes sad music, to a guy that, like, actually has a story to tell.
Right.
Who has a narrative to...
saying, I'm able to write... saying, my music is sad, not because I make sad music, but because the stories I tell are moving.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm going to sit down and make an album that is fucking moving.
Yes,
And it is
exactly.
his most artistic album to date.
I know.
Including Wishbone.
Including Wishbone. Like, both Wishbone and Found Heaven really mark a turn in Conan's career where he decided he's not just going to make albums
Sad boy
that
pop.
yeah, sad boy pop. Like it's again Super Egg was the biggest offender of this because I think Kid Crow he had a lot to say.
Yeah.
He was a like up and coming artist he had and like also his life. Like he was really reflecting on his life. And so like they really pulled from that.
And I also think like I think Super 8 is the way it is because of how Heather performed and just the phenomenon that Heather was.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, Heather by far was the most successful song off that album. Other songs on that album were successful too, mind you. Comfort Crowd did good. Maniac did good.
Yeah.
But it's just Heather was in the billions.
Yeah.
In the billions of streams. And so it's like, okay, well, I have to sit down now and write a bunch of
sad songs.
Really sad songs that are going to hit the algorithm like
I think
that
it's
again.
because he's known, well, at least from Heather, he was like, oh, like I make people cry. And so now he's like, oh, now I need to write an album that makes people cry.
Right.
And it's like...
About me crying to make people cry.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I will say there are bangers off of this album, right? I love Summer Child.
Summer Child is one of my favorite songs by him. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love Summer Child.
Absolutely.
Family Line is a classic.
Family Line's classic. It's so good. It's
all the time.
And I think I already talked about it before. Jigsaw, I think, is like I really love the lessons in that story about like not changing yourself, about feeling like you're constantly tearing yourself apart to rebuild yourself into a new person for whoever you're trying to impress.
Right.
Yeah.
But then what does that have to do with people watching?
But what does that have to do with people watching? What does that have to do with movies?
Right.
What does that have to do with astronomy?
Right. Right. And so like he kind of just had this habit in Super 8 of like writing kind of one-off songs. And I think because it worked in Kid Crow, because Kid Crow worked more of it like as a vignette, he was like, oh, I can do it again. Because I think in Kid Crow he wasn't truly aware that he was doing that.
Yes.
I think he became more aware after Found Heaven release or before
after Super 8. And we're going to actually have an episode about Found Heaven in the future.
Yeah.
Talking about album releases because that album was done dirty.
Yeah, it was done so dirty.
Done really dirty. But let's get into song ordering.
Yes.
Yes.
The narrative structure, if you will. I think on one hand, the narrative structure needs to be clean.
It has to be.
It has to be
It
clean.
has to be clean.
I think no matter what kind of narrative structure you are going for, each of your songs need to advance this narrative in some way, which is a hot take. Well, it's kind of like a medium take. Which is why Tortured Poets wasn't a good album.
Yes.
It was an album that had good songs, even great songs on it. I really like So High School. There are some songs on that album that I think are really good, but there are also a lot of songs on the album that I think are really bad. And there's no discernible narrative of this album because there are just so many songs. It is so messy,
so long,
and the art, Taylor Swift is an artist of the caliber where she can really it would kind of be considered lazy of her to just throw shit at the wall and say that the process is the art.
Yeah, but that is what Tortured Poets
But that's what Tortured Poets is that, the process of, going through this breakup and also being on tour and then also, being, losing the love of her life or something, that was her, that is her art, I guess I should say.
You left your Labubu at my apartment straight from the Dubai chocolate to
Oh, yeah, yeah. And for some reason, we declare that Charlie Puth should be a big artist. I don't really get it.
Charlie Puth is in the Kia Asylum, by the way. We decided that the other day.
Yeah.
We decided that the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the reason why I think Tortured Poets isn't a great album. It's a decent album with, good songs, but there's no album that can be narratively cohesive and also have 31 songs on it.
Yeah.
There just needed to be pretty major cleanup with the narrative. And I think, look, 31 songs on, a deluxe or bonus album, whatever, if she wants to do that, then she should, or she could. But, there needs to be a reason why the main album is structured the way that it is. And unfortunately for her, I just cannot wrap my mind around what narrative she could have been going with the original album as the vision.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And to be clear, there's a lot of Taylor Swift haters out there. I think we're Taylor Swift agnostic.
Yeah.
I want it to be clear. I was excited for Tortured Poets.
Yeah.
I was excited for this album because I did like Midnights.
Yeah.
Even though people didn't.
People shit on Midnights a lot.
People shit on Midnights, but I actually
but, like, it's good.
I liked Midnights, and I was
Yeah.
excited for this album. And literally, I sat down, like headphones on, listening to this album on release day,
Yeah.
and just feeling like, wow, that was ass.
I just kind of sat there. I was like, oh, like, okay.
I was just like, wow. No, I was like, literally, like, this is ass.
That's so real.
Like, just because it just feels like shit from butt, dude. Like, you know, like sometimes one will come out solid and the rest is kind of liquidy.
Why? Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
no,
you.
but that is kind of what Taylor says. Like, that's kind of what Torture Poets Department was giving, because it's too sprawling to be narratively cohesive.
It is the suburban sprawl of music.
It is. It kind of
It
needed somebody with, I guess, like a razor blade to really focus her and to cut the songs. Like, a lot of these songs should have been left on the cutting room floor.
Yes.
And
yes.
unfortunately,
London Boy. Wait, no, not. What's it called? It was a London Boy reference, right?
Oh, So Long London.
So Long London.
Yeah, like the song was kind of just droning.
Yeah.
And like, again, I think she has good songs on that album. It's just the album itself is not good because it was so messy.
Yeah.
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 And again, Taylor Swift just passed the point of artistry where the mess can be considered art in and of itself.
Even the titular track of that album was ass.
Yeah.
Tortured Poets Department is just kind of a whatever song.
Yeah.
It felt really thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like she sat down and she's like, I know the name for this album before she wrote it.
Yeah.
Before she wrote it.
Yeah. So I think like Tortured Poets Department is one of those where like the narrative structure isn't bad, it's just buried among the mess. Like it's just kind of, you need to really do the work to
You should reorganize Tortured Poets Department. Do your cuts.
Do my cuts.
Do your cuts.
Yeah.
Show us
Find
your
it
work.
out. Yeah,
Show us
find
your
it.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, I should.
But let's get off of droning about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
There are albums that are good that we really do enjoy that we think could use a reordering.
Oh yeah. Because there are some narrative structures that just, I don't know, like.
That felt off.
Yeah, that felt off.
I mean, you were just showing me. You redid. You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love, Olivia's new album.
I did do that.
Knock on wood, she might curse this episode.
God, please. No, like, I don't think that the album is bad by any means. I actually think there's something very artistic about, just laying it all out.
Yeah, I think I'm more as an example of just like you were kind of walking me through your reasoning behind why you ordered the album the way it is. Obviously, Olivia's come out and said publicly that the reason it is the way it is because it's chronological to her life.
Yeah.
To the actual experience.
Yeah.
You were kind of going for a more artistic, telling the story kind of thing. I want to talk about opening tracks, closing tracks really quick.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna use a good example for this. Guts by Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh yeah.
Opened with not so American, All American Bitch, which is basically laying out like, I feel like I have to be perfect for everyone. I'm your picture perfect girl, but I can't fit into like the molds that you're putting me in, right? I'm All American Bitch. And then this entire album kind of follows those motifs of like, pretty isn't pretty. I don't feel like I'm pretty compared to other people, comparing myself to other people.
Yeah.
And it ends with Teenage Dream, which I think is still one of her best songs she's ever written.
Yeah.
Talking again, closing out about like what happens when I grow up. When will I no longer fit this mold?
Yeah.
Am I am I on a ticking like clock? How much time is left on that clock?
Yeah, and like both of those tracks together, All American Bitch and Teenage Dream, tell you that this album is about expectation. It's about like her like perception.
It's about It's not about romance. It's not about this kind of stuff. It's about what people expect from me.
Yeah, and so like again, you get this a lot from like other albums as well, right? Like Troye Sivan, when you go from like, or like actually let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about like um, Short and Sweet,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you go from Taste to Don't Smile, then you realize, oh, this like album is about breaking down
Right.
walls and like
Right.
introspection. It's about this juxtaposition between like sarcasm and sincerity,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like what kinds of emotions underlie the sarcasm and like vengefulness in
Right.
Taste, which then you have to break down to get to Don't Smile.
Yeah, and I think it's like the opening track really has to set the stage for like, this is my problem. This is the problem I'm facing. All American Bitch says, my problem is I'm being put into so many molds that I don't fit at all.
Yeah.
And the closing track is either acceptance or a solution, right?
A resolution.
A resolution.
It can also, the conclusion can also like I guess turn that on its head.
Yes.
Right. Say like in Short and Sweet, Sabrina Carpenter's problem seems to be the other girl,
Mm-hmm.
but when you get to the very root of the problem, again in Don't Smile, she reveals that the problem isn't the other girl. It's the guy
Mm-hmm.
making her feel insecure. It's in
Right.
herself for feeling that way,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like she's so in her head
Mm-hmm.
that she can't really get over it, and it's like she's using like sarcasm and vengefulness
Mhm.
as a way to cope with her own emotions, and so it's like that is
Yeah.
its own issue as
I mean, we
well.
talked about that organizing structure in Found Heaven as well, but I want to talk about Wishbone
Mm-hmm.
because the way it works in Wishbone is he's singing about this guy that he was dating. Things didn't go well. He feels like he's been hidden
Yeah.
by a closeted man. He's being hidden, and he has to deal with his relationship being in the closet, even if he himself isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then Care is like, I really felt like shit because of you and all this stuff, but fuck, I still care about you.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that is his resolution.
Mm-hmm.
That's him coming to terms with like, yeah, this entire album was about me bitching and moaning because I'm in pain,
Mm-hmm.
but also I know I still care about you. And then the deluxe tracks build on top of that,
Yeah.
saying like, I'm finally closing the door on this chapter of my life, but I'm still gonna leave it open a bit. I'm still open to you and to working things out with you if it just means we're safe friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I actually want to point to one album that, in my opinion, again, another Sabrina Carpenter album that fulfills both having good music and having cohesive music in terms of like theme, song, whatever, but like isn't necessarily in the best order, at least in my opinion. And that is Man's Best Friend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the ordering in Man's Best Friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think that it could be a lot better. And I'm just going to point to the opener and closer right now.
Right.
Because you have, so first you have Man-Child, and then you have Goodbye,
Mm-hmm.
right? Completely ignoring the rest of the tracks, you have an album here that is very sarcastic, very like humorous, I guess self-aware humor, where she goes, oh, like I just keep dating like men that are like stupid, right? Like men that are dumb. And she kind of has a self-aware bit where she goes like, oh, like I like my men all incompetent, like whatever. And she's kind of poking fun at herself, but she never really tackles that,
Right.
And if you completely ignore the rest of the album, Goodbye ends on the same note,
Mm-hmm.
where she's saying goodbye, but also like not really, but also like, haha,
Mhm.
that's funny,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she doesn't do a lot of self-reflecting in between these two songs.
Right.
Again, the actual album itself has some pretty introspective stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like We Broke Up Again Last Night is really introspective. Let's see, Don't Worry, I'll Make You Worry is really introspective. And like there is room for fun, but I think when you are choosing your opening and closing, it should bookend
Yeah.
your journey.
And it's clear that, I mean, this is something that I think some artists like to do because it just seems like fun and like a little joke between the artist and the listener of like, Goodbye's last track because the name is Goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm saying goodbye to you.
Mm-hmm.
But it completely broke the story.
Yeah.
And then, like, I mean, obviously the story in Soup Break is non-existent, but you know,
Yeah.
he finishes the album with the exit.
Yeah,
Because
the
he's
exit.
exiting.
Because he's it's like you left me at the exit, or,
Right.
like you know what I mean, and it's like for the closing track to be the exit, like I get it, I
Mhm.
get it, you
It's
know, like it's
cute.
cute, it's fun,
Right.
but like
But it's
it
like,
could go elsewhere.
also, because he chose the exit to be the last song, the album feels like it ended halfway through when Memories plays.
Yeah,
And then we have to get to the exit still.
yeah,
So it's like, we've had multiple resolving songs now
mm-hmm.
that feel like I feel like you're probably never going to get your resolution because you keep trying to resolve it in different ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So again, okay, just like pointing out shouting out my own ordering of Man's Best Friend. I think I
Mhm.
started it with House Tour.
Yes.
Because on one hand you start it and she goes, take your shoes off, and she's like, do you want the house tour?
She's
She's
introducing
welcoming
you.
you to the
Yeah.
album, right? She's like, oh, like, here's a house tour, here's how I am, like, here's how, like, not necessarily how I've been feeling, but it's a one cheeky and sarcastic, right? Like,
Mhm.
she's using her good old like Sabrina humor. It's one of the most like explicit songs, I would say. But none of this is a metaphor, guys, by the way. On one hand, that's very funny because it's like, oh, like, it's just a house tour, like, what could go wrong? But on the other hand, it's like, none of this is a metaphor. Obviously, being like, wing wing, this is a metaphor. I don't know.
Right.
I think it could be very like, it could be a little bit introspective of like, this is how I actually felt. I don't know. But then I ended it with, we almost broke up again last night, which I think is one of the most introspective songs on this album, where she says like, yeah, like, low key, I am the one who puts myself in these situations, right? Because they almost broke up, but like, low key, they didn't because she didn't want to, and it's like,
that dick.
and she does.
And
And that's okay.
And that's
Right?
okay.
It's okay because she admits it,
Mhm.
right? And she's like, okay, like, actually, like, low key, this is also my fault.
Mhm.
And I think that introspection is part of what makes me love Sabrina so much. And the fact that she tries to hide it, or at least she's self-aware about like
Yeah.
her hiding it from herself and from her audience. And she sings about that, right? Like, she sings about using humor to cope and using sarcasm as a way to deflect from your emotions. And I think using those two tracks as bookends for this album really showcases how she uses self-awareness as a shield for dealing with her own emotions, and again, that breaks it down a lot better. The same way that like Taste and then Don't Smile work with each other to create a narrative about dissolving those barriers and like actually coming to terms with the fact that, like, you know, like, sometimes your problems are your problems.
Right. And so, like we said, we love all these. We still do love these albums.
Yes.
Like, they're not bad. Well, I mean,
Well, some of them are.
They're a little bad.
Like Super Break is kind of a bad album.
Super Break is a bad album.
Yeah, it's an album of singles.
It is an album of singles. But what we're trying to say is we really appreciate these artists. And the reason we chose these artists is because we know that there's more in their career that we're able to point back to and be like,
These
they
artists
did
are
it really good here.
Yeah.
Look at how well Found Heaven was organized thematically and sonically. And Super Break wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's clear he learned from that, and he brought that into Wishbone, which I love Wishbone. I still don't think it's as good as Found Heaven.
Right.
But that's just because I think Wishbone was... Found Heaven was for Conan, Wishbone was for the fans.
Yeah.
Wishbone was for all the people who were upset that he did a full 180 and hit the synth.
Yeah.
But, you know, I still think it's like, he definitely brought a lot of those lessons into Wishbone. It's very well produced. Sonically, still some of his best work.
Yeah.
And it has a full-on story and it has a full theme.
Yeah. No, and like, looking back at Taylor Swift, right? Like, her recent full pause.
Yeah.
Right. With Showgirl not being a great album.
Right.
And then Torture Punch Department just being too messy to be a great album. Like, if you look back on her career, she's written true bangers.
Right.
Like, actual bangers. Right? Like, 1989 is a phenomenal album. Red is a phenomenal album. Right? And it's like, you can look back and appreciate the fact that she knows how to write a good she knows how to write a good album.
Right.
She might not feel the need to do so anymore, or the urgency to do so anymore, which is probably why it hasn't been great. But like, when she is there, she really can write a good album.
This is my take. It's not that she doesn't want to write a good album anymore. I think you get to a point where you're in, we talked about this before too. Sorry, this is such a tangent, but we're at the end of the segment now that I think it's okay.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain level of separation from the rest of everyone else, you lose the very part of the human experience that makes art so impactful, and it's your connection to your fellow man and your connection to the rest of the world. Because I think fundamentally, how can you make art when you aren't experiencing every part of the human experience?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's most recent albums have been about relationships. And it's put her as the victim in multiple scenarios in the public eye,
Mm-hmm.
even though she's a fucking billionaire.
Yeah.
How are you the victim if you are still a billionaire?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you still won.
Yeah.
So that's why it's hard for her to put out a new album now
Mm-hmm.
that puts her as a victim.
I also think it's people are tired of it. Like,
People are tired of it.
not saying that like Taylor Swift is not a good writer. Again, she is.
Mhm.
But like she really only has like one song where she actually takes accountability for her actions, and that came out in the second album of her
Mhm.
career. That came out in Speak Now, and the
Mhm.
song was Dear John. And since then, she really has not had a truly introspective song to the same caliber as that one.
And I think it's about I I think if she released an album today being introspective and being like, what has my impact been on the world?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of be not about Travis Kelce's penis.
Yeah.
If it's about what has my impact been on the world, have I changed the world for the better? How can I keep doing better?
Mhm.
Because I think that is a very real feeling
Yeah.
that a lot of people feel, that I think a lot of people can relate to more, and it would be refreshing to hear it from someone of her power.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be very nice. It would
Yeah.
sound very nice. It would
It would.
feel very refreshing.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about your boyfriend. I just don't want to hear about Travis Kelce's penis anymore.
Yeah.
His
No.
redwood tree needs to stop
Yeah.
dickomatizing you.
Yeah, no, like it does. And I think like again, like even some of her more recent introspective work,
Mm-hmm.
like Nothing New or You're on Your Own Kid,
Mm-hmm.
or even like Anti-Hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
She is saying like let's say Anti-Hero, right? Like she's saying like, "Oh, I'm the problem," right?
Mhm.
But like she's still the victim
Right.
here. She's
Right.
still like, "Oh yeah, but like the people are viewing me this way."
Right.
And like it just sucks, and like I feel so sad that I'm viewed this way,
Mhm.
and like all of that. Things like Nothing New or Clarabelle is about like again public perception. It's the public's fault that she's feeling this way. She is sad, but she's not sad because of herself. She's sad because of extrinsic circumstances surrounding
Yeah.
her self-image. And again, it is important for it. I think it's important to talk about self-image. I think it's important
It is.
to externalize those those
Mhm.
internal thoughts. But it's like, and she's very good at doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the thing is that she has spent the last decade even like wallowing, I think, in her own self-victimization.
And in that, she has built maybe the largest fan base in the world,
Mm-hmm.
only rivaled by BTS,
Oh yeah.
and is also a billionaire, and also went on a sold-out stadium tour.
Oh yeah.
Multiple nights, 6 nights in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
At at SoFi Stadium.
I know.
That it's just like, yeah, we get it.
Like-
We get it. You had to face some serious bullshit from the industry when you were a kid.
Mhm.
When you were in your 20s and you were
Mhm.
releasing music and you had Kanye coming up on stage talking shit.
Yeah.
That's not happening anymore, though.
Yeah. And now it's like she is the big player in the industry. She
She's-
is the industry.
She's
right?
the bully now.
Yeah, she is the bully now. And what does she have to say about that?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I'm the problem, it's me.
Yeah.
Right? And it sounds almost like she is mocking people.
Mhm.
Not to say that she is. I'm not saying that she's trying to be that
Mhm.
person. I'm just saying that it does kind of come off that way. Again, like it's not necessarily that she is unable to write a good album. I just think that if she wants to, she needs to take a step back the same way Olivia Rodrigo did.
Mhm.
Really live her life and evaluate it, and then
Mhm.
come back to tell us about what she thought.
Yes. Come back and first of all, release a rock album. I keep harping on rock albums through this
Oh,
entire
yeah.
season. I want rock music.
Oh yeah.
Charlie XCX
Charlie
rock
XCX.
music. We're making rock music.
Right.
No. I want Taylor Swift to go off and come back and make a hard rock album. Or country.
Or country.
Or country.
I need her to dig back into those roots.
Yeah. And I need it to be about this introspection. This is a viewpoint we don't get a lot from billionaires, is what do you think about? What do you think
Yeah.
about the world and the state of it?
Mhm.
What do you affect the world so much? She toured and changed economies. Okay?
Yeah.
So talk about your effect on the world and what you think you are doing wrong and what you are going to do better on that.
Not even just what she thinks she's doing wrong, but like, what does she think she's doing?
Right. What do
Like-
you think you're doing?
Yeah.
What do you think you're doing?
Yeah. Like, I just, like, again, albums should be able to tell your perspective on a story, right? When it comes to Olivia Rodrigo, the reason why she's so successful is that she has her own perspective, right? Whether that be, and usually that perspective is like internal, right? That she's always evaluating herself and her own actions and her own thoughts as they relate to the situations around her. Taylor Swift, her perspective is usually, I'm sad, which is okay. Like, that's good,
Right.
right? Or it's either I'm sad or I'm in love. I'm so happy I'm in love. Conan Gray is usually I'm sad.
Conan Gray is usually I'm sad. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, these albums have to do a lot with like, or good albums, right? Tend to make the
Actually,
audience...
Conan Gray's I'm sad and it's because of my family.
Yeah, Conan Gray's
Yeah.
I'm sad and it's because of my family. Sabrina is usually I'm sad, but I don't want you to know that I'm sad, and so I'm gonna be really funny.
Sabrina's I'm really sad, but I'm also really horny.
Oh yeah, I'm sad, but also
I'm really horny.
oh yeah. Oh god. Anyway,
This
no,
has
like,
been a fun one.
This has been a fun
This
one.
has been a fun one.
Yeah, no, I think like again, to write a good album, you need to have a fresh perspective.
Absolutely.
And I think Taylor Swift has been so bogged down in her own perspective, which has gotten her a lot of fame
Yes.
and notoriety. I think what she needs is not to change up her sound, though that would be really nice. I think she needs to change her perspective.
Yes.
And I think again, that is a core tenet of like these albums that are good. Again, Brat also brought a new perspective onto the scene, right?
Yeah.
Similar to Sabrina, but also different because
Yeah.
Charlie XCX is not like a horny little girl. Like she is a very much like grown up woman, but she still has her own self doubts and she hides them not behind humor, but behind partying.
Behind the music.
Yeah, behind the music. And so it's like, again, these differences in perspective is what makes these albums really stand out amongst the rest. And again, why Gracie Abrams is not that good. Because I feel like she has no real thoughts.
Because she is a Nepo baby, and she is a Nepo baby, by the way.
Is.
Look, I know we like to argue the definition of Nepo baby. Her dad is in the industry. Her dad made Star Wars.
Yeah.
Her dad directed Star Wars.
Yeah.
She's a Nepo baby. She has connections to the industry. Anyway, she's a Nepo baby, and she also grew up in the Palisades. So
okay, yeah. So
not a lot of struggle.
not a lot of
Okay.
struggle. And it's like the things that she writes about, like love, whatever. She doesn't really offer a special perspective on that, right? Because like you can say like maybe she's a little bit introspective, right? Because she's like, oh, like I love you, like I'm sorry, like whatever. But like Olivia Rodrigo already offers that insight and more in her album, in her music.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, what is your introspect here? Is it because you are an introspective person, or is it because of the actual situation that you're in? And I would argue that it's more because of the situation you're in. You're being introspective because you know that you have to be in this moment.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's more of what I'm getting from Gracie Abrams. I'm sorry, I'm a hater.
I am a
I'm a hater by heart.
Yeah. Benson Boone also.
I mean, he wrote the whole album in 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think Benson Boone's a funny person.
He's funny.
I think he has a good personality.
He's cute.
I think his voice is good. I just think the reason why he's not able to write a good album is because he has no new perspective. That's it.
Tell me about being Mormon.
Yeah. Like, All American.
Tell me about the struggles of growing up in the Mormon church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about the religious trauma. I'm sure you have some.
Religious trauma. Yeah.
Tell me about how you learned to do backflips.
Yes. Please.
No, but it's like I think Benson Boone has potential to write good music. I think he has potential as a great performer. I think he's a great performer. But like, I don't think he writes good music again because he has no new perspective to offer. Like listening to I think was it American Heart or something like that. I listened to it and I was like, well, like it's okay. I think the story is very basic. It's an album. The songs are okay. Yeah, but anyway, I think we need to get
it's
into
quick pitches time. This has been a long one. Quick pitches.
Okay. Want to start?
Yes, I'll start. Oh, yes. Taylor Swift Vegas residency, no albums.
Yes.
Girl, take a couple years off, do a residency, go to the Sphere.
Go to the Sphere.
Please.
Please.
Come back and tell us what you think.
Yeah. Come back and tell us what was your effect on the world?
Right.
Like, how did the world affect you?
We don't need Taylor Swift yearly. We don't. We don't.
The world doesn't even need Olivia Rodrigo yearly, and she
No.
knew that.
She took almost 3 years off.
She took 3 years. Yeah,
She
basically
took 3 years off. Okay.
and the world wanted her back.
Yeah.
So Taylor Swift, take a couple
Yeah.
years. You'll survive. It's okay.
Too much supply, not enough demand right now. Okay?
Yeah, you need to make yourself scarce. Like
You need
need-
scarce.
you need to engineer
Yes.
scarcity.
Yes. Yes.
I don't mean
economics.
yeah.
Economics.
Economics. Let's see. Climate tree.
Climate tree.
I did this recently,
Yes.
and
you
it was
did.
very fun. I had a
Yes.
little bit of help, but I think we should all go and climb trees.
Yeah, we should
I
all go
think
climb
we
trees.
all have a little squirrel inside of us.
Yeah.
And I think we should all feed that squirrel.
We all have a
by
little bit of dead
climbing-
possum in us.
Yeah, exactly. We all do. And I think we need to feed into it by, climbing trees.
Right. Going to the beach.
Word.
Go to the beach. It's summertime, girl.
Girl.
It's summertime. The sun's out. Buns out.
Mm-hmm.
Sex on the beach.
Oh,
The drink.
the drink.
The drink.
Honestly, it's a really good drink.
It is a good drink. It's a
Yeah.
good drink. Yeah. So go
So-
do that.
So go to the beach.
Yeah. Get
Okay.
some sand in your
Go
ass.
to the beach, ain't flushing it. Well, I can't believe we're supporting her for everything she's done to us. Okay, up next we have
Gooning.
and edging.
Edging.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all.
There are gooners and edgers. And I think we need to acknowledge and honor that
Yeah.
by, sometimes being that ourselves.
Can you actually do a land acknowledgement for me really quick?
Yes. Okay. I'd like to acknowledge that I am on Tongva lands, and I'd also like to acknowledge the atrocities committed here by the people that came before me hundreds of years ago, even though I'm not technically directly related to any of them, unless I'm secretly Weishan. I don't think I am, though. But I recognize that it is directly because of their actions that I am sitting here today. And I'd like to acknowledge the native peoples.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And just for context, I am native, which
Yeah.
is why I'm not doing a land acknowledgement.
right. You are
Yeah.
acknowledging the land by being here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Tim, one time Tim and I decided that we wanted to take photos for Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
and
The
he
scariest place we could think of was
he's-
a single mission.
took me to San Gabriel Mission, and I'm like, this is
This is-
horrifying. I'm like, this is horrifying for different reasons. There's a weight in
Yeah.
my chest.
Yeah.
I hate that place.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
Sophia actually had her quinceañera there. The mass.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, that's heavy.
Yeah.
It's different for Mexicans.
It's different for Mexicans. Oh,
um,
God.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you,
It was
everybody.
so much fun. This is a fun
This was a
episode.
fun one, yeah.
I think we have some good clips too.
Yes.
Some me crashing out about Taylor Swift and Gracie Abrams,
Which was most of the episode.
which is most of the episode, really.
Yeah.
We have some fandoms to piss off, so
Oh,
be
yeah.
ready to see that on Instagram.
Yes.
We're gonna get into the ending spiel here now.
Okay.
This has been Pitch and Shit with Tim and Machu, produced by Tim and Machu. The video version of this podcast is available on YouTube and Spotify. We're available in audio format on Apple Podcasts. Catch us wherever, rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. What's your favorite album? How would you fix an album? And what do you think about Conan Gray's Super Ache?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can follow us on socials at Pitch and Shit wherever you like. Maybe not Twitter. Definitely not Twitter.
Oh, no.
And we'll see you next week. Pitch and Shit releases every Friday.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.